Hello and welcome back in this very awesome video under the line of choosing your perfect exhaust system for your car, for your engine, if you are playing automotion, even in real life, because these rules are applied in the game and of course in real life for choosing the perfect exhaust system for your car. So as you can see, today we are working on this engine, which is it was a 6.2 liter. It's based on the LS 6.2 liter engine. To be specific, it's based on the LT1 family, the 6.2 liter LS LT1 family. You can find it in the Corvette C7 or the Camaro SS made by Chevrolet. It's a pretty much common engine. Everyone loves it. Everyone wants to have it, and everyone wants to swap it instead of its crappy engine. And you can find it in any crappy car. Everyone wants to buy this engine. Everyone wants to tune it. Everyone loves it. So as you can see, it's perfect, and I will show you why in a minute. Now let's start with the specs. Now this is not a replica of the LT1. No, this is completely different. This is like a racing setup here, so we can work on choosing your perfect exhaust system for any engine. Right, let's start with the specs. We have a V-shaped engine, 90 degrees, 8-cylinder engine. We have a aluminium block, 103.2 millimeters on the bore, 92 millimeters on the stroke, which equals 6,156 cc, or you can say 6.2 liters. These are the official specs, and the bore and stroke. These are the official bore and stroke for the LS LT1 engine, 6.2 liter. We have push rods, 2 valves per cylinder, aluminium head material, no VVL. We have a cast iron crankshaft because this engine doesn't really rev that much high, so a cast iron crankshaft will work just fine. Lightweight forged connecting rods and lightweight forged pistons. We have zero quality on the internals. We have, like the LT1, 11.5:1 is the compression ratio, 83 cam profile, which is like a racing camshaft. Variable valve timing, also like the LT1, +3 quality on the valve and the camshaft and the VVT, naturally aspirated. And yes, in this one I did not choose the multi-point fuel injection. That's why I said in the beginning of the video, this is based on the LT1, but it's completely different. So don't kill me in the comment section saying, oh, I know the LT1 or the LS uses AFI, not DFI. I know that, my friend. I know that, and I know that these cylinder heads, instead of an intake manifold, the injectors are bolted on the cylinder head itself instead of the intake manifold. That's what the DFI means. The injectors inject fuel into the cylinders directly into the cylinder what do you call it, combustion chamber. Yes, directly inside. Unlike the DFI, which the injectors are injecting fuel into the cylinder head, not cylinder head, into the intake manifold. That's the difference between DFI and EFI. DFI is more efficient, more modern, more economical, and you can reach extremely high amount of power, and you can push a lot of fuel in because you are pushing it into the combustion chamber instead of the intake manifold. Alright, so let's move on. Since we cleared that point on the DFI and EFI, I'm using individual throttle bodies or throttle per cylinder. So we have eight throttles on each cylinder. I'm using racing intake manifold and racing intake system. So basically no air filter, nothing. A racing intake manifold, extremely high flow intake manifold. I'm using premium 95 octane fuel. 13.2 is the air fuel ratio with maxed out ignition timing. 6,500 is the RPM limit because the push rods valve train and a single camshaft in the middle of the engine cannot rev that high. Even with +15 quality and let's say 100 cam profile, you can go all the way to 7,500 RPM, not much more. And also, as you can see, we have like a +2 quality on the fuel system here, and I'm using racing headers and dual exhaust pipes, and as you can see, 2.5 inch exhaust diameter and no restrictions whatsoever. Right, before we move on to the exhaust and explain to you how it works, let's start with the bottom end, as you can see, or you can say the internals of the engine. I mean, the crankshaft, no, this will not affect the noise of the engine. Of course, if you choose like a flat plane, of course the noise will change completely. But I'm talking about this, the loudness value. I'm talking how loud the engine can get. Changing in the crankshaft will not make the engine louder or quieter. As you can see, choosing any kind of crankshaft will still the same, will be the same, 93.2. Absolutely amazing. Right, let's see. All right, moving on, we have the lightweight. We have the lightweight connecting rods. As you can see, lightweight forged connecting rods. As you can see, these also will not affect anything. Choose whatever you want. It will affect the smoothness, the reliability, everything, but it will not affect loudness. Here is what affects the loudness. The pistons actually change the note of the engine sometimes. In real life, yes, it happens. As you can see, choosing cast will make the engine quieter. Look, 90.2, 90.9. Choosing heavy duty cast, the same. Forged pistons will give you 92.7. Hypercast, 89. It's quiet. This is quieter. If you are building a quiet engine, this is the perfect choice for you. Low friction cast, it's a little bit loud, but it will give you fuel efficiency. Lightweight forged, now this is where it gets crazy. This is the loudest set of pistons you can put in your engine. So this is perfect if you are building like a really high revving racing engine and you don't care about noise and loudness. Just put these in and you will be screaming all the way on the test track. Quality, as you can see, will not affect loudness. It will keep everything, it will keep it the same, but it will affect, you know, reliability and smoothness. Moving on, compression ratio. Compression ratio also doesn't affect, as you can see, the loudness, so you don't care about it. The cam profile can change the note of the engine. For example, a low cam profile, that means a fuel economical, a small camshaft. Yes, it will make the engines run smooth. It will have a smoother note, exhaust note, but it will kill power and it will make good amount of torque. High cam profile, as you can see, like racing or sport, it will give you a high-end, a high RPM horsepower, and it will start to lose torque. Sometimes it will gain torque, but you have to find the sweet spot of making your engine powerful and torquey at the same time, because just putting it to 100, yes, you can make good amount of power, but you will lose extreme amount of torque. So you have to find the sweet spot, and this will not affect the loudness of the engine, but it will change the note of the engine, the note of the exhaust. Variable valve timing. Valve timing, this is like a technology for valve terrain and the camshaft and the cam gears, to be specific. You know, it will not affect the loudness of the engine. Quality also is the same thing. Turbocharging, it will give the engine, you know, the famous blow-off valve sound, and it will make the engine extremely powerful and torquey, but it will not make it loud. Sometimes it does make it loud if you are using like a blow-off valve, a really loud blow-off valve. But here, to be specific, no, an automation game, yes, sometimes it can change. Let me check. Yes, as you can see, it will change, because if you have a small turbo, or actually the engine, because the engine is knocking here, the engine is not running perfectly. But if you have like a small turbocharger, yes, the turbo can, because it restrict air. If you have a small turbo, it will restrict air in the what you call, on the exhaust system, and it will kill power. It will kill everything, but it will make good amount of torque. So it's like the camshaft. If you have a small camshaft or a small turbo, it will give you a good amount of torque, great responsiveness for the engine, but it will make a tiny amount of power. So again, it's up to you. As you can see, this has changed because I think the exhaust diameter got smaller. We will fix it later. Let's move on. We have the injection here. Changing the injection of carburetor and injection, yes, sometimes it can affect, sometimes it does not. For example, let me show you the carburetor. Yes, the carburetor actually, let's see. No, so it will not change. Alright, I did not check that. So changing the carburetor into injection or whatever, you know, no, it will not do anything else. Intake, of course, the loudness will change. Standard intake will give you, as you can see, a much quieter, much smooth running engine, because we have a standard OEM air filter. And performance will give you a much louder engine, because you have like a high performance air filter and high performance intake manifold, which makes the engine loud. Racing intake manifold, that means no air filter. Racing intake manifold, you will hear all of the induction noise in the engine, which is amazing. This is preferred by, you know, car enthusiasts, racing drivers, and the people who search for great amount of power and they don't care about reliability. This is in between. If you want your engine to be to keep your engine reliable and good and healthy, but you want your engine to sound louder and you want more power and more torque. This is if you are just a normal driver, you want to keep your engine stock, you want to keep your engine fuel economical, and actually fuel economy will increase by, as you can see, starting with standard 15.6. This is 15.8 and this is 16.2. So removing the air filter makes good amount of fuel economy because you're not choking the engine, and of course you will have a high flow intake manifold. Let's set it to race again. Fuel, of course, fuel will not affect anything except, you know, knocking and make the engine run smoother. Let's see, air fuel ratio. It will not also affect the loudness of the engine, so don't care about it. Only focus on this section. Only focus on the intake if you are focusing on the loudness of the engine and power and torque. Everything else here is just for, you know, making the engine run smooth, run powerful, and don't make it knock. RPM limit also the same. It will not make the engine louder because you are just increasing the speed of the engine, and will not affect the loudness. Increasing quality, as you can see, it's the same thing. And now this is the bit that all of you were waiting for. Choosing, as you can see, cast log. Yes, it will make the engine to shut up more because it's very restrictive. And of course, opening the headers more, you know, put a high flow ones will make the engine extremely loud. So in this case, racing tubular, look, 93.2, extremely loud. Choosing single or dual. Let me explain this rule to you. Choosing a single exhaust pipe for a V engine. Because this engine has like two banks, and you need to have like two separate exhaust pipe. Unless if you want your exhaust pipe or exhaust system to be compact, you can use a single one. But if you want to keep the same power and same torque, you have to make the exhaust diameter bigger. Yes, you can. For example, this one is 2.5 inch exhaust diameter, right? Let's choose single. As you can see, the engine is knocking, we lost power and it doesn't work really well. But let's increase it. As you can see, we have the same power, 500 horsepower, we have 415 pound-feet of torque, no knocking, nothing. But check out the loudness, because now we moved from 2.5 inch to 3.8 inch. This has increased the loudness extremely high. From 93 to 98 or 92, I think, I'm not really sure, to 98. This is why single exhaust works only good on, you know, inline engine, because you have only a single bank, a single header. But here it's mostly preferred to use a dual exhaust pipe, because check this out. Moving back to dual, we still have the same 98.5, but we lost power and torque because the exhaust it's oversized. It's too much big for this engine. So let's try and decrease the size. Alright, to 2.8, or let's say 2.5 inch. 2.5 inches is perfect. We have 93.2. So also it's up to you, single or dual, because more exhaust size, of course, you will have more loud engine. And also, let's see, catalytic converter. You're using a two-way, of course it will make the engine much quieter because it restricts so much. Three-way, high flow three-way, these restrict very much. So it's up to you. If you want your engine like a cheapy engine, you can use two-way. A normal performance or good performance engine, three-way. Even high performance engines sometimes use three-way. High flow three-way, it's very good. It's clean, it's high flow, it's amazing, but it's expensive. So it's up to you. Mufflers, of course, everyone knows how mufflers work. Of course, look, baffled, reverse flow, straight through. Reverse flow is the most quiet one. Baffled, it's a crappy one that restricts power and torque and doesn't really do a good job. I hate it. So you basically have three options: none if you want a racing engine, or reverse flow for a city driving engine, straight through for a performance or high performance engine. Baffled, this is crappy, don't use it, I hate it. The same goes for the second muffler. But the trick here is not like this. The trick here is the quality. because on zero quality, even without any restrictions, as you can see, nothing, we have no restrictions whatsoever. We have 93.2 on the loudness on zero quality only. And let me show you, and let me fire up this engine and show you how it sounds. So as you can hear, it's very loud, it's very high performance, and it's like a racing engine. It shakes, it burps, it makes that amazing V8 engine sound on zero quality. Let's see, increasing the quality of the exhaust system, even without any restrictions, it will make the engine quieter. I mean, this is very obvious. I mean, it's very obvious a high quality exhaust system. Look, yes, you will make more power, you will make more torque, as you can see, but now we have lost power because it's too good for this engine. We have to decrease the size, as you can see, like this. Now we are running 2.2 inch, and look at the difference, 67.5, and we have no restrictions whatsoever, only headers and a straight pipe. I mean, this is the best header ever because it's plus 15 quality. Let's fire it up. As you can hear, the engine sounds much quieter, much like a high performance engine, not a racing engine. Yes, now, so as you can see, plus 15 quality, it's not really a good option if you want to make your engine loud. But if you want to make your engine, you know, of course, more high quality, more reliable, you know, and of course quieter, this is the best way to go. But let me show you something. Go back to zero quality. We have the same, let's see, because yes, we lost power because it's 2.2. Let's go back to 2.5. Here we go, 2.5 inch. We are now back at 93.2 as before. Now let me decrease the quality. Look at the loudness and look at the quality. 94, 96, 98, 99, 100, all the way. Minus 15 quality, and check this out. 118.1, but we lost a lot of power. Let's try and increase the size of the engine. Alright, so we have lost like 1 horsepower and some amount of torque, and now we have like a 3-inch exhaust diameter. And check this out, 120.9, extremely loud. I don't think that maybe your ears will bleed if you are using like a headphone, but to be careful, lower the volume a little bit so you know your mobile won't explode or your ears will not bleed, because we have 120.9 points on loudness. Ready, steady, and oh. So as you can see, this is how loud this engine can get. Extremely loud, 120 points. And let's see if you go back to 0, and let's see, go back to 2.5 and listen to it again now. this is much quieter. I mean 93 instead of 120 points. So as you can see, this is how you choose your exhaust system, and this is how you make your engine quieter or louder. If you like the engine, if you like this video, please hit that like button, get subscribed, and share the video if you want to share it. I'm really happy that you are watching my videos, and thank you to everyone that has subscribed to my channel. I'm really happy, and all of you are welcome to request any kind of video, any kind of car or an engine in automation game, and I will be more than happy to make it. But please check all my previous videos so you can know, have ideas about what the game supports, because twin turbochargers for inline engines are not supported yet. There are no superchargers in the game yet, and we don't have like a racing fuel in the game yet, like more than 100 octane fuel. So it's because some of you are requesting like Formula 1 engines or NASCAR engine. I've tried NASCAR V8 before, but it did not work. No, it did not work. It was a complete fail because it kept knocking. I couldn't reach the correct power and torque and the RPM, even with everything plus 15 quality. So yes, check the game, because I made a lot of videos. I made like 600 videos so far, and please, I'm not saying watch all my 600 videos, no, but check, search my videos if you have like an engine, because I made a lot of real engines, replicas in the game. I made them, and before requesting, search it. Maybe I did it, maybe not. If I didn't make it, give me a comment, or go to my Patreon page and write your request over there. I will put the link in the description below. So thank you so much for watching. Please, if you enjoyed the video, again, let me see those thumbs up go up in the sky, and of course, if you are new, hit that subscribe button, and of course hit that notification bell button so you can get a notification each time I release a new video. And thank you so much guys for watching. I'm gonna see you very soon, and goodbye for now, my friends.